Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Myogi, and for those who have gotten the Ultimate Edition of the Crew Motorfest, they are officially out. The new 400Z and the 240SX, aka the Sylvia S14. And as you can see right here, yep, it's looking absolutely magnificent. But I do have one gripe, but which I could easily let go of. For the S14 Sylvia, they went with the USDM variant, which is the NISSAN 240SX. Last time we've seen this was both in Midnight Club and in Gran Turismo 2, especially the US NTSC trim of the game. So here are the specs of the 240SX. Yep, absolutely underwhelming compared to its Japanese counterpart, the King's variant, the SE. This one houses the same powerhouse as that of the QS. Well, a bit lower than the QS because I know the QS is around 180. Or I could be wrong. Maybe it is also 150. The only thing I remember is that the KS, the King's version, is at 220. And that's what I adore and love. But we are here to look at the customization of it. We're going to be comparing it to... We're gonna have Rio Suck set the time for this one, for tier 1, and then we would be traversing over to the 400Z right after. But for now, we're going to see how this baby looks and performs. But speaking of which, we're gonna go over looks first. Let's go over in visual parts. So for hoods, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 3 variants, each with its own carbon counterpart. We got 12 front bumpers. So we got the masked lights and the masked grille. Lowered with the Nismo lip. The fog lights have been replaced with vents. Retained the fog lights with the lip and the added intercooler. Canards, can't go wrong with canards. And we have the time attack bumper, and we also have the variants of the ones with the mask lights and mask grill. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm gonna do, yeah, no, this is too ricey for me. I'm gonna go with this one, but the stock one looks actually as good, but I'm gonna go with the masked look. Yeah, the mask look definitely looks better for me. I'm not gonna do any particular build for this, mind you. So fenders, we got a stock one, we got the overarching, and the carbon overarching. Rims, the official ones, we have the base Nismo, the racing Nismo, and that's it. Everything else is basically the same with all the other cars. I think this one would look good. Calipers, side mirrors, we have 4. We have base, carbon, racing, racing carbon. I'm gonna go with this. With the skirts, we only have the base and the carbon one. Rear fenders, same as the front fender. So we have the flat, the arch, and the carbon arch. Wing, this is most important for me. Oh god, what? Yo, oh, what happened? What happened? Can I equip this and see what's... Oh, okay, so it's wingless. Okay, so we found a bug. It throws us straight into the suspension system. My god, these control arms are quite detailed. Okay, so going back, jokes aside. So we have the ducktail. The ducktail attachment, the ducktail, big wang, carbon wang. Sad that they don't have the one for the SE, for the JDM variant. So apparently, yeah, no, we cannot do a 1998 SE model. The closest we can do is a Kentamobile, and that's what we're actually going to be doing, unfortunately. So taillights, we have the regular taillights, the masked taillights, the twin. Is it the same at the bottom? Yeah, it's still the same at the bottom with the plate number slightly lowered. The biggin, double biggin, Time attack with pointed down exhaust. Time attack twin. The twin, the base one. I like this one without the masked look. So, yeah, I'm gonna throw the big one in there. And that's 10, 11, and 12. Interior designs. We have... Is Kenta on browns? I think he is. Yeah, I'm gonna give this sort of trim. Matter material. We only have one insert material. Okay, so... Color-wise, oh! The lip is colored the same way. I thought it had the Nismo treatment. I see. So closest we could get to, so if you want the game version, you have to go with the official color. But if you want the anime version, this is the closest you could get, I think. Okay, now that we got that one set, let's see if are there any liveries for the S14? Oh, so apparently there are around... Okay, this is the top 100. I'm surprised that people already jumped into this. So this one's actually quite good. This is a drift inspired one. We have the matte look. Oh right, I remember we can do something close to Illusion B. Close but not entirely. I am mad no one had the red suns in. Yeah, because the car is just fairly new, so they make do with what they currently have. I am not surprised. Honolulu Police. Yeah, not much. Someone's trying to make sure. Hey! Someone force-fed Ikitani into an S14. This is... You know what? At one point, it does resemble close to the S13. We just gave Ikitani an upgrade. This one had some parts of it masked in. Oh, someone beat me to it. All right. Okay, I don't like the fact that he used the chrome paint, but you know what? We're gonna go with it. Yeah, and one last check on the visual parts. I'm gonna go with the not masked in. Let me find it. No, not you. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so we have our S14 in. What I'm going to do now is I am going to install the according parts. Okay, I know it is not fully maxed out, bite me. And we'll throw this over to the FC. For a proper run, we're gonna do a time attack. And it would be from the Automobili Lamborghini playlist. So if I could just go over there and find the race. Okay, so we are here at the point that we're gonna be doing. So I'm gonna switch to... We'll establish the time to beat first with the FC. With the FC, it is... So with the FC, so it's 3 minutes 15, 3 minutes 16. So that's the time that we need to build up and beat for the S14. Again, acceleration of the S14 is much better than that of the FC. So that is a plus. The gap between them is good. But when it comes to the higher gears, the FC dominates more. So lower RPMs, the S14's good. Higher RPMs, when it comes to top speed, the FC is way better. But as soon as we hit peak top speed, on average, no NOS, no slipstream, the S14 gains it back. So what differentiates the two now, aside from the obvious differences on the straights, would be on how they handle on the technical corners. we have to be absolutely gentle. Mid RPMs, it is tail happy, so we have to take a mental note. But if we enter the corner stabler, in a more stable fashion, or at least risking the line between drifting and gripping, it somewhat corners a little better than the FC. A little. But you have to be extra skilled to pull that off. On the safe sides, it's doing average. See, we're in the technical section and the FC is now pulling away from us. So clip the gutter. Yeah. Unlike the FC that can handle it in Gear 3, we have to drop it to Gear 2 to keep it stable. Higher RPMs, the car is fairly stable. And Gear 2 gives us more control whenever we pull off power slides or drifts. If we don't want to crash on technical areas, we really have to drop it to Gear 2. Which is the weakness of the S14. Gear 3 again, very tail happy. To compensate that one, we have to stick to Gear 2. And we have to do some throttle control on Gear 4. On the higher RPMs, we lose control, we lose stability, unfortunately. Okay, the last section, we always screwed up on this one on pass attempts. And across the line, what do we get? 3 minutes 19. And that's like the best that we could pull off so far with the S14. So it's not as top tier as the FC. We will always use the FC as the benchmark for Street Tier 1. The Ferrari F40 for Street Tier 2. So 3 seconds slower. So no changes in the meta apparently with these new cars. The most that I could say, at least, it handles quite decently on the straights. So if it's mostly straight roads, the S14 can dominate. And has a higher top speed latency compared to the FC. But stay away from technical sections as you would be forced to drop to Gear 2 if you want to keep the stability. Anything outside that, the S14 is quite unstable around the technical area, so you need to do some pro settings to keep it stable. Meanwhile, for the NISSAN 400Z, okay, so the S14 in comparison to the FC, yeah, the FC is way up there. The FC is always going to be the one to set the standard. Okay, so now we're gonna go over now to Tier 2. And Tier 2, my standard would be... Would it be overkill if I put the Lamborghini as the basis? But from what I've heard, everyone is adoring... You know what? The F40. The F40 is the... I wouldn't say industry standard, but more like the standard per se. Say hello to the 2023 Nissan Z, the Nissan 400Z. This did appear in the Crew 2, I think. So yeah, it is part of the 1-year pass. If you have the Ultimate Edition, it includes the 1-year pass. But if you don't, you can buy the pass separately for a pretty penny. So we're gonna go over the customization first before anything. The spec, so it's at 400 horsepower, as the name implies. It's a bit of a heavy boy. So this is the successor to the 370 and the 350Z that is in game. So let's go over the parts. So we got 7 hoods. 1. Okay, so it's just the top part. Full carbon. A vent in the top part. Carbon on the top with the vent. Then we have the racing ones. I'm not feeling yet the 370, so I don't know what type of build we're going to be making with this. Visually wise, I mean. So we have 15 bumpers now. So we have the masked headlights, eyelids, Vents on the side. That kind of reminds me of how the 370 looks like on the second appearance. Oh, this is reminiscent of the S30. I think I'm already having a good idea what build we're going to be doing with this. And this one is the stock one with the extended lip, with the carbon placements on the sides. And then we have the extended lip, smoked extended lip eyelid. The S30 style smoke and the S30 eyelid. The extended lip smoke, extended lip eyelid without the holes on the sides, and the ones with the holes on the sides. I'ma go with the obvious one. A homage to the Akuma no Zetto. So fenders, we have 3. So we have the base, extended, and Liberty Walk inspired. But for this one, we're gonna go with the extended. Rims, you have the stock ones in bronze, the star type. Oh wait, you only have 2. I see. So you cannot use the aftermarket ones from in-game. So you can only pick between the stock one and the bronze one. I'm gonna go bronze. Side mirrors, you only have 2 variants. One is the black one to match the roof, and the other one is the dry carbon one with the blue lip underneath. I'm gonna stick with this. Skirts, we have 4. We have the base, carbon, extended carbon, and vented. I'm gonna go with the vented. The vented actually looks quite good. Rear fenders, so we have the flat ones, the extended, which we're obviously getting, and the Liberty Walk inspired one. Rear wing, we have the base, carbon base. Oh yeah, this is definitely a homage to the S30. We're getting that one. And then we have the Nismo inspired. This is literally taken out of the Nismo 370. And this one's actually quite good. It's closer to the 350 Nismo. And then the S-Tune GT, I mean. And then we have Big Wang Gang, if you want to go with the GT trim, which would look better with the Liberty Walk inspired fenders. Now, going to the rear bumpers, we have... Oh, I'm liking the details on the exhaust, though. So we have the regular, we have the masked. Look at these exhausts. It's a quad exhaust, but they molded it to look like it's still twins. That's unique. And then we have the proper quad exhausts. We have the Porsche inspired one. And then we have the one with the smoke taillights version. Okay, so this is quite hard actually. The stock one looks good for me, honestly. So trims, definitely I am going with the maroons. Oh, the interior style also affects the dashboard and the door panels. Nice. I'm gonna go with this with just the brown stitching. Single material, single insert. Okay, so we have our car raring to go with no upgrades yet. Yeah, so what we're going to do right now is we're gonna go this. Screw you, Kara! And our time to beat with the 400Z would be 2 minutes 55.767. So under 3 minutes. So if the 400Z would perform well, like close to the 3-minute mark, it is quite top tier. But if not, well, it may suffer from the same syndrome as that of the S14, and I don't want that to happen, apparently. Okay, so full tune, the 400Z is at under 700 horsepower. The weight is still the same, apparently. And we can hit up to 360 kilometers per hour top speed. So let's see if it could do the same. Yeah, this is so Devil Z inspired. Oh! Why didn't I do this before? I could put up my ghost and see the... Alright, since it's time attack, I could put ghost. I should have done that with the S14. You know what? I'ma do that with the S14 before we end this video. Yeah, there's no slipstreaming here. So it's a good way to test the differences between the two. So it has a max of a 6 gear. Okay, here we go. We're gonna get a bit more technical from here on out. A little bit of understeer, well, given its overall weight. Let's see if we could still catch up to our time with the F40. Okay, we need a little bit of that drift to go over that technical section. That is a given. Okay, depending on the angle of the corner, that does tend to happen. But the gap between the F40 and the 400Z is already consistent. So I would say this is a little above 3 minutes. But yeah, the understeer would be the problem of these ones out of the box. So you need to do some pro settings to rectify that, especially for the brake bias. But traction wise, it is quite grippy. It doesn't throw itself into a slide willingly or unwillingly, but it has good grip, good control. And our end time is 3 minutes and 1, so quite decent, but it's not top tier out of the box, at least. Again, our basis would always be the Ferrari F40. So 301, not bad, not bad. It's not bad of a car, actually. It's just heavy. That's the only gripe I have with the 400Z. Oh yeah, wait, forgot. We did not check how strong the S14 is when it's fully maxed out. S14 carries 650 horsepower. I don't actually quite feel it. 1,250 kilograms. And yes, the speed is as according to on paper. So let's check with tier 2. With the 400Z. Yeah, let's switch over to this one. Going to the 400Z, it's very grippy for a rear wheel drive. I would give it that. But my biggest gripe for this one is its overall curb weight. It did not do it justice. You need to take gears a little slower with the 400Z, again because of its weight. It's the F40 pretty much, sets the standard. So until the F40 gets dethroned or until someone actually goes par to par with the F40, it's safe to say that the 400Z does not cut it. But what I do like is that if you want a tier 2 S30, the 400Z is your car with the modern taste, with the modern look. So yeah, that is the comparison study that we have done with the S14, the 240SX I mean, and the 400Z. The customization features, what you could see about it. If you have the game and you like to showcase your unique livery styles, do post it. Do share it in the comments below. Just drop links. I don't think we can put images just yet. Yeah, the 400Z is a good homage to the S30, and that intentional Devil Z look is again intentional. So I'm gonna be doing this again once the next pair of cars for the 1 year, the 1 year pass is out. Till then, go over to the link to the side to see me enjoy the playlist and see how many skill issues I attain in the process. So if you like this video, leave it a like, subscribe if you haven't, comment below what you want to see next, and I will see you guys in the next video of the Crew Motorfest.